Can I get a 16-ounce Americano?
Yeah, just black.
Black. Black. Times are changing. Quite literally, time is changing. We had to roll back the clocks today. We don't have that many nice days left to get outside and shoot 3D, so we're gonna do just that today. Take advantage. There's some new targets on the course, and I want to talk about some things that have made a genuine difference in my archery game. Let's go. I'm just gonna shoot a couple warm-up arrows and then we'll head to the 3D range. It's a great day. Man, we just don't have that many of these left. I'm glad I was able to get out and shoot some of these new targets. One quick disclaimer before we get into it. If you're new here, welcome. Also, if you're new here, I'm just a guy that likes to shoot my bow. I'm not Levi Morgan, I'm not Chris B, I'm not a pro level archer. I'm really just a guy who likes shooting my bow. That's my perspective. If you have a different perspective, I would love for you to share that perspective on YouTube. It's become so much easier to make YouTube videos now. If any of you have an itch or an inkling to make YouTube videos, literally just turn your iPhone sideways, have a tripod, get started, start making videos. iPhones are awesome now. You're not handicapped at all. The more good people in the hunting and archery space that share their videos, the better. We need good people that are willing to share their perspective. It's awesome. Look at this, we got some new targets to shoot. We got a honey badger, don't take no shit, and it looks like a bobcat behind him. A little history, a little throwback Thursday, if you will. Grew up as a young man in Michigan, really enjoyed shooting my bow, was able to bow hunt at 12 years old. So that was the first tag I ever had, and I probably started shooting my bow at 11 or 12 years old. But just like a lot of people, all I really did was go in my backyard and shoot arrows and try to hit dots, and I just learned on my own. Roll forward the clock about 20 years, I got a wee bit older, decided I wanted to take this a lot more seriously and wanted to get good. That required me to change some things, and actually changed quite a few things. I've had to work really hard to get better at archery. And honestly, for me, that's part of the appeal. I enjoy the challenge, I enjoy trying to get close to animals, and I enjoy watching arrows fly. And never really win archery, there's always something you can work at, there's always something you can learn. And hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two from the lumps and bumps I've had to take through my archery career, if you call it that. Firstly, lesson number 1, Fundamentals 101 with Josh Jones. Shout out to Josh, by the way. He helped me so much with this stuff. Getting my shoulders level. Shooting with my shoulders nice and level. But there's layers to that, and I found it particularly challenging for me, especially trying to get my front shoulder down. My front shoulder, if you watch from the front, was always kind of riding up like this, and my elbow looked something like this. Getting my shoulder to rotate back and to keep my elbow in has made a world of difference in being able to suck this shoulder down. Like going from here to here has really helped steady up my bow. So I would say getting that front shoulder down, big difference in stability and how much my bow steadies up. Let's shoot these targets. 26.5. .36 to our bobcat. You see those bears up there like 40 yards? This next one's kind of interesting, and it's been a more recent realization, is that when I would draw my bow, check this out, I would draw my bow and I would exhale. And I wouldn't inhale, so my lungs were already low on oxygen. And if I'm low on oxygen, I start to get the speed wobbles, my bow shakes. I've had to make sure that I draw my bow, inhale a little bit, and then settle in and shoot. Kind of low key, but has made a big impact. 37-38, I'm gonna run up there and get a target cam on there for you guys. Caribou, mountain goat, bear. That's a pretty cool target setup. Now, one reason I can say confidently that I've gotten better at archery is from shooting Vegas faces. Now, that's not necessarily like a technical tip or whatever. There's this old saying in archery is that if you can do it the same, that's all that really matters. There's definitely a lot of truth to that. And practicing in front of a Vegas face, for me, has been the thing that's really allowed me to learn, hey, when I do this, my arrow misses this way. When I do this, my arrow misses this way. I grip it goofy, my arrow misses this way, or I don't pull it through the shot and my shot drops out low. But I've learned all these little things from shooting Vegas faces, and just having that constant steady medium. It's the same yardage every time, it's the same face, and it's really helped me with repeatability. And I don't exactly remember like what my first Vegas score was, but I think it was in the 60s or the low 70s. For some reason, the first score I really remember was 274, but I know I shot rounds in the 60s too. That gives me a little baseline to measure from. 30 shots at 20 yards, and it's just like, it's like the lab. It's like the perfect opportunity to, is what I'm doing consistent and learning from the mistakes I've made. If you haven't shot a Vegas face, I would encourage you to, and just set yourself up a target, indoor, outdoor, wherever you can do it. And I've just found it to be probably my most valuable practice. Caribou first, 35 yards. That shot felt pretty good. Mountain goat, 50 yards. Felt pretty good, it looked a little low. That's the one we like. How cool is this? We got a lion and a stag down there. Another thing I've had to work on, and this is something that goes on the back burner and then comes back to the front burner, and I need to remind myself of, is when it goes bad for me, my shots are almost always taking too long. I take too long to get to anchor, I take too long to level out my bubble. I'm just all slow and monotonous doing that shit. But then ultimately the thing that hurts me the most is occasionally I'll get caught just watching my pin float. I'm just watching the pin float and I stop executing on the trigger. And this is advice I've received from Joel Turner. Shout out to Joel. In the couple brief opportunities I've had to work with Joel, he's always been super selfless in trying to help me out. So thank you, Joel. I appreciate what you do. Joel has an online course that I will link down below if you want to dive deep into the weeds on his system. The words that echo in my head is Joel said, I'm one of the few people who needs to go faster. All that meant was I need to shoot faster. Instead of stalling out, I need to make sure I keep my release moving. And that's something I'll circle back to often if things start to take too long. Keep it moving, trust my pin float, and just keep my mind back here. And that's where shooting some version of a clicker, like a stand clicker or a clicker with a recurve or a hinge with a click, can be a really good tool for some people because it helps keep your brain back on the release instead of freezing up watching your pins. All right, I got the stag at 60. That one missed a little bit on the downhill side. And shooting on a side slope, that's most common because your bubble wants to float downhill. So some people will aim off of the target. Some people will lean their bubble into the hill a little bit. I've always found it better for me. Josh has always been an advocate for bubbling into the hill, leaning your bubble towards the hill. And I've always found that's what works best for me. We're gonna redo that one. Might overcook that one. All right, now we got the lion. That's a brand new target for me. I've never shot the lion. 66 yards down there. That was money. That was pretty much where I was aiming, but I gotta aim inside that. Let me know what you guys thought of this style of video. I wanted to do something a little different, talk about kind of the archery bumps and bruises and stuff I've had to work through along the way. When the snow flies, it's gonna be a lot harder to make shooting videos. Let me know if you guys wanna see some indoor archery. I know there'll be a few of you that'll say you're into indoor archery, but to make it fair, let's get this video over 1,000 likes. Over 1,000 likes, I'll make a video dedicated to indoor archery. Look at this. I've got a couple cougars down there. Cougars can be very dangerous. Proceed with caution. And if we just want to sprinkle in a little tech tip, one thing you could do, rip your grip off. Shoot off of the riser. Or if you're going to shoot off of a grip, make sure it's a very sturdy surface that you can get good feedback from. Josh has always been a big advocate for that, and I see why. It's sturdy. If we want accuracy, we want consistency, and having good, clean edges to grip can make the difference between, you know, a couple inches here, a couple inches there, inch or two here makes a, you know, that's a big difference. Cougar 39. That looks like a pretty good shot, but the scoring rings are a little bit inside of that. Last shot here, dicey. I gotta sneak it inside of the action camera. I wouldn't hit the action camera, but I would hit the pole. Little risk, huh? A little close for comfort. Let's be safe and wrap it up there today. That was a fun video to make. Let me know what you guys thought of that. I love shooting my bow. I love coming out here, and we have a great 3D archery range. We're pretty spoiled. I'm on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I would appreciate it so much if you would subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you guys back here for the next one.